What up YouTube, I'm back. So it was a good Black Clover episode, I would say, even though the animation wasn't what I wanted it to be, because there was some big moments in this week's episode. But let's get right to it, man. In last week's episode, there's really two big things that really happened. The first thing was Fugelion waking up from his coma, and the other thing was Lady Leona kind of sacrificing herself for Asta and Zora because they were going up against 5 elves. So we saw the result of that in this week's episode, where Lady Leona was fighting against 5 elves, which is crazy because going up against 1 is really difficult. Now going up against 5 is craziness, you know. So we saw the results of that. Obviously what happened, I know would happen because Lady Leona is a human and she's going up against elves. We know that elves are stronger and that their connection to mana is stronger, you know. So there was no way that I saw where Lady Leona could have beaten the elves, you know. I don't even think that Lady Leona would have been able to defeat Rhea in his true self, you know. He's way stronger than he was a few episodes ago, so I don't think she was gonna be able to defeat him. So like I said, the animation wasn't that good, so it was kind of hard to watch, because for me it was a big moment for Lady Leona. There was some good shots like this one and another one that I'm gonna show you guys later in the review, but the animation wasn't great, man. I think that moment of the episode, the moment of Lady Leona plus Asta and Zora at the end of the episode, I think it should have been animated better, because I think it was a really big moment, you know. But there was something that I liked about the fight. It was the OSTs during the fight. I think it was amazing. I think it was a great OST for the fight, so that's one of the things that they did great in my opinion. But yeah, there was no way that she was gonna be able to win this battle against 5 elves. There was just no way. I didn't know what she was gonna do. But one of the other shots in the episode that I really liked was this one. That's beautiful art, man. That was my favorite shot of the episode. It was just great, you know. That I think they did a great job of. I think they should have done more of that during the fight, but that's just me. Lady Leona did something pretty amazing at the end of her fight. She used Mana Zone full release to use her final spell, her most powerful spell. So I guess the reason why she had to use Mana Zone full release is to use as much mana as she could to use her most powerful spell, and that was kind of amazing. I love this shot right there. The art is pretty cool, and I think it reminded me a lot, her final spell reminded me a lot of Vegeta when he fought Majin Buu for the first time, when he used Final Explosion. After this attack he died, which didn't happen to Lady Leona, but it reminded me a lot of this attack. But yeah, she used her final spell. I don't remember the name of the spell, so let me know in the comments down below. But I thought it was a pretty amazing shot, and it was an amazing attack, man. Even though it didn't kill all the elves, they were just kind of scratched, you know. The craziest thing is that if it wasn't for Asta and Zora, she was gonna die, because the elves use their compound magic. Elemental Quintet it's basically them, you know, fusing their magic and attacking together. So Lady Leona was dead, man. She was gonna die, but then Asta and Zora interfered to help her, and what they did was pretty cool, you know. So obviously we know how Zora's magic works, so he was able to, you know, redirect it ×2, but he redirected their attacks to Asta, so that with his anti-magic sword he could redirect it back to Zora, so he could redirect it ×2 again. So the attack was 4 times stronger than it was at the beginning, and because it was so strong and that Zora you know, made his spell pretty quickly, his spell was gonna broke. So what Asta did was redirect the elf spell by himself to them, you know. So I don't know how the other elves are, but we know that Rhea kind of captured Asta after that happened. maybe they're out of commission, but Rhea is one of the strongest elves right now, so that's maybe why he was able to keep up with Asta, Zora, and Lady Leona. They were going to escape, but then Rhea, captured Asta. Uh, um, so Zora was able to escape with Lady Leona out of the headquarters of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. But like I said, when the elves attacked Lady Leona with their compound magic, and then Asta and Zora came up to save her, I think that was a pretty big moment. So I would have liked the animation to be way better than it was, because it was a big ass moment, man. Them working together to save the captain of the Royal Knights from 5 elves using their compound magic. That's pretty big, but like I said, Zora was able to escape with Lady Leona. We saw that Noel and Kurt were able to escape the headquarters, and we also saw Nozel Silva escape with one of the other Royal Knights. So some of the Royal Knights were able to escape. I don't know what's gonna happen with the others. Maybe the others have all been transformed into elves. But yeah, man, it's kind of crazy that all the elves are taking over. We still haven't seen Lich do anything so far. I don't know why he's staying like that, but it's interesting because Rhea wants to give Lich Asta's grimoire and swords. I don't know how this is related. I know that Lich is using sword magic kind of, but it's not the same as Asta, so I'm kind of tripping about how it's connected. I feel really bad for Mimosa because she's kind of caught up into something pretty bad. There's Klaus, there's there's obviously Lich, and there's the other member of the Golden Dawn. They're all been possessed by other elves, so she's caught up into something pretty bad. She's the only royal there, and we know that the elves hate the royals, so she's caught up in something pretty bad. And the way that they did her was wrong, man. She's a waifu. She's one of my waifus. So anyway, she didn't really had the time to fight. She's not strong enough, obviously. Even though she's a royal, she's not an attack kind of gal. She's more of a healing type, so she wasn't able to do really anything. She tried to escape, but they're too strong. But it's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen in next week's episode. We saw at the end of the episode that Asta was in that same room with Lich and everything like that, so I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I haven't watched the next week's episode preview yet, so it's gonna be interesting. The elf that is inside Klaus's body right now said something really interesting at the end of the episode about because he said something like the elf in Yuno's body wasn't really self-conscious right now. So it's pretty interesting because I think maybe Yuno is fighting what is inside of him right now. Maybe he's fighting for his consciousness and not letting another elf inside of his body take over. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Yuno in next week's episode. We saw Asta's reaction to Yuno, so I can't wait to see what's gonna happen, man. But let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below, and let me know what you think is gonna happen next. Like I said, the thing with Asta's grimoire and his sword is pretty interesting because Rhea is saying that his Lich's grimoire and swords, we know that he's using sword magic, but it's not the same thing, so that's interesting. I do Black Clover reviews every Tuesday, so subscribe for that, but I also do other anime related things like Fire Force and Dr. Stone reviews on Fridays, and then One Piece plus Demon Slayer reviews on Saturdays, so stay tuned for all of that. My bad if this week's review is really bad. It was really hard to talk about this week's episode, because it was good, but it wasn't that good, so it was pretty hard to review it. But I can't wait for next week's episode because it's a milestone for this anime. It's gonna be the 100th episode of the anime series, so it's gonna be, I hope It's gonna be an amazing episode. It's something special, man. An anime that has 100 episodes is something special, so I can't wait for that. I've covered this anime, I've reviewed this anime for 75, 76 episodes, so I can't wait, man. I've been there since day one for the anime. I haven't reviewed every single episode, but I've reviewed more than 50 and 60, 75% of the series so far, you know. So yeah, man. Like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot. And follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, especially on Twitter because I tweet a lot more, man. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, man. Anime Specialist out. Peace.